Hey, welcome to the For Evansville podcast. My name is Jonathan Betcher, and I'm here with Adrian Gregorich, and we are talking to people who are for Evansville about their stories and the ways that they are contributing to the flourishing of our cities. And it's really exciting, really fun to have these conversations and to see the different ways that people are for Evansville.
Yeah, and we're excited to welcome Amy Boucher today. And she is a certified divorce financial analyst, and she uses her expertise to empower women who find themselves suddenly separated from their partners. And she also teaches free financial literacy courses to women in need. And just another cool thing about her is that she just strongly has a passion for sharing resources. And she just believes that if we all share our resources, talents, information in our community, it'll make it a better place. So we're really excited to hear from her today. Today we have Amy with us. We're so excited that you're here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Why don't you just go ahead and introduce yourself and just tell us a little about what you do and maybe how long you've lived in Evansville?
Well, I was born and raised in Evansville, and I went to Purdue, and after graduation, I lived in West Lafayette for a couple of years, and then I moved back in 1991 and lived here ever since. So I have two sons. They are 26 and 24, and a daughter-in-law. And I'm an entrepreneur. I founded New Horizons Financial Consultants, and I'm a financial planner. And I guess I consider myself pretty passionate about, Evansville, the community, and getting involved. And I love to volunteer and just meet new people.
Great. Thanks. What makes you love Evansville?
I love the location is great. I think the location is perfect between, all the major cities. I love the hometown feel. I love getting involved and being able to meet new people, but also see similar friends at the same venues and, getting involved and just the same network of people. I like knowing that there's a lot of people in this community that are giving back and serving others.
Yeah. And you're one of those people. I think that would be fair to say. And you've kind of taken your skills from your profession and your business and created opportunities to use those skills to help people thrive and flourish in our community. Could you tell us a little bit about that and what that looks like?
Well, I think as a financial planner, backing up a little bit, when I first got into being a financial planner, I really personally undervalued what came easy to me. When I went to college and I started taking the classes, I didn't really appreciate that the skills that I had already and was learning were something unique. And that, but when I started practicing and really started helping, and specifically, I started helping women who were going through divorce about 10 years ago. And I started realizing that what I could share with them, was a value that they, wasn't skills that they necessarily had themselves. And so it's something that I just really wanted to empower and share. And, it is my business, but also at the same time, I just want to give it away as much as I can.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to be afraid of their money, afraid of their finances. I want them to feel empowered in making good decisions.
Yeah.
So that, and then I also, if there's organizations that I can help with the skills that I've learned as an entrepreneur, whether it's marketing or fundraising or just awareness, I just want to help the organizations with those skills.
Yeah, and that's a big deal because whether you are managing an organization or just your personal finances, doing that well or doing that poorly can have a big impact on, just your capacity to use the resources that you have, whether it's to provide for yourself and your family or your organization.
Definitely.
So that makes having that skill set and having some coaching on that makes a huge difference, I imagine.
Yeah, for sure. And, I think, as a small business owner, you wear many hats. And there's a lot of small nonprofits that do the same thing. They have to juggle many hats between the different small staff.
Right.
And so, helping them with what I've learned, how to juggle those hats. And then also, trying to bring in more volunteers, especially, or board members, whatever, to spread the responsibilities.
Right. How did you get to a place where you were interested in making those skills available to nonprofits and individuals outside of your business or beyond, customers of your business? And what kind of led you to that decision, or led you to, kind of branch out beyond just, I'm going to help customers through my business, to I'm going to try to make this available to as many people as I can?
I think it's inherently maybe wanting to help others, but also, I think of a couple of phrases, the rising tide raises all boats.
Sure.
And then also, that as a Christian, we're called to serve,
Sure.
And we're called to serve others. And if we're serving others, we're fulfilling the role of Christ. And that, if I have something that someone else doesn't have and I can afford to share it, which my knowledge and time and resources, then that's, what I should be doing. That's what I'm called to do.
Yeah, that's really cool. I imagine a lot of people don't always have that perspective with their job and their profession. And so it's cool that you think about those skills in that way as a way to serve other people.
Yeah. And like I said, maybe early in my career, I didn't really appreciate what my knowledge could do for others. And I think because I gained that appreciation later on, that maybe I value it a little bit more. And I just really want to share it.
Yeah, that's neat.
Do you have any specific experiences or things along the way that you said, a couple of things along the way made you gain those experiences and that knowledge? Do you have certain milestones that you think kind of edged that along?
I definitely have a couple. Early in my career, when I was helping a woman who was going through a divorce, and she had been in a really bad situation. She was in a pretty toxic, abusive marriage, and I was helping her understand her finances. And when I told her what her share would possibly be through the divorce, and she started crying and said, she was a self-employed hairdresser. Her husband had always told her that she would never get anything from the divorce, and that she was willing and ready to leave because of that. And I just told her she was going to get $300,000, which was her half. And she cried and said, that she had no idea, but yet she was ready to take that step anyway. And, that was enlightening to me, because, and also the fact that she had been sheltered. She had not been able to share in any of the information in the marriage, and really had no idea about the finances and what she would then be responsible for. So that one experience was a real turning point for me. And also, I've had probably many clients that have shared with me just that when they were going through their divorce, me being able to educate them, and them knowing that they could rely on me for the financial information, allowed them to focus on taking care of their kids, deciding where they're going to live, maintaining, a household of peace amidst some trouble. That's very rewarding for me. And, like anytime I'm able to do some workshops, I'm doing a workshop right now that there's women. It's actually kind of a national workshop, and once a month I'm educating the women on finances, and it's just very rewarding for them to see them. It's kind of a Zoom meeting type thing, and for them to be taking notes and know, like, these are women I'm never going to see again, but yet I'm able to share with them something that they will either be able to apply or maybe go, research some more, but hopefully be able to improve their financial lives.
I love that you've taken, like we've talked about, the business side, like your career, but you have used it to also offer services in almost like a free way, or just help your community, give back to your community. I would love to know almost the practical steps. If we have business people listening and saying, yeah, I would love to give back to my community doing the skills and knowledge that I have, where can they start?
Well, for me, I start with what was I passionate about? Because I think early in my career, I'll admit, I got involved in some nonprofits thinking it's going to help me professionally meet different people, stepping stones or whatever. But I realized that I really had to be passionate about whatever I was getting involved in. Otherwise, I didn't put my whole heart into it. And taking the time out of my business time or even my personal time would feel more of a burden if I wasn't really passionate about that mission of the organization. So first, I think it's what do I really care about? What am I passionate about? And then plugging into organizations. And once you get into the organization and understanding then what your skills are, and how they can be utilized in the organization.
Yeah, that's really cool. I was just, as you were kind of talking about that process of coaching somebody through financial literacy and them being able to then focus more on other parts of their life and not having to stress so much about managing those things. I was thinking about the ripple effect that has in their own life and then in the community as well. And so whenever you think about the way that you see these skills and just financial literacy kind of helping an individual person in their life, and then you take that and you envision our community as a whole, what if everybody had these skills and was able to manage their finances in a really good way that was going to help them a lot? How do you think that would impact the community as a whole, or what's kind of the citywide impact of those little ripple effects kind of happening as people are moving maybe from, struggling to figure out what to do financially to knowing the right moves to make with their finances?
Well, I really feel like, we're all, what do I say, like blessed with a certain amount of resources, and, talents and that we're, supposed to try to make the best of it.
Right.
And a lot of people don't make financial decisions out of fear of making a mistake. And, I'm going to get it wrong, but, there's the story in the Bible about, burying your talents. And so, if you think about talents as money, if you're, not confident or don't have the opportunity to expand your talents as in money, invest it or, invested in a business or invested in your home ownership or even just, taking money from a bank account and putting it into an investment account. If you don't have the confidence to do that, you're not going to grow your own talents.
Right.
And so as a community, if everyone, again, the rising tide theory, if everyone was able to grow their financial picture their personal finances, and then they could give back to others and also rely less on social systems, because they're able to improve their own financial lives. And also what comes along with that is, confidence. People feel better about themselves. They don't have that, again, if they can kind of put their finances in a category that says, okay, I've got this under control. Now I'm going to, take care of something else over here, whether it's improving my education or different jobs or just being a better mom or a better dad, because
Sure.
I'm not stressed about my finances, so
Right.
I can be a better mom or a better dad.
Yeah, that's huge. So you talked about, if somebody wants to think about how to use their, professional skills or whatever kind of giftings they might have to help others and serve others, identifying what they're really passionate about is really important, because then you're going to really put your heart into it. I feel like another barrier for people is sometimes not having opportunities to connect with people who would benefit from those skills and things like that. So do you have any advice, or can you speak to, like, how do you find the people who are going to benefit from what you have to offer, and how do you get connected with them and build relationships and build the kind of trust that it takes, for them to see you as somebody who can help and contribute to their flourishing and things like that?
Again, I think some of it is taking. Some of it is time. I will say early on, I tried to get involved in different organizations, and maybe I was forcing the issue, but I tried to put myself out there. Like last year during the pandemic, we offered a service at a significant discount for people who were struggling through the pandemic, to just help them kind of put things in perspective. Being open to opportunities, and not just thinking of something as this is what I want to do, or this is what's going to help me professionally, or what's going to, it's really, I think the most selfless acts are when I've been the most useful. So when I've went into something thinking I'm just going to open this up and see where this leads me, and then that's usually when I can be the best service.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, like sometimes putting ourselves in positions where we can just listen and then say, okay, there's some needs that I know that I'm equipped to meet.
Yes.
And so I think that's really important.
Yeah.
That we're listening
and not being afraid of. I think some people are afraid to get involved in something, thinking that, it's going to amount to more than I'm willing to give, or I'm going to be obligated. And as long as you are open to the opportunities and just have good boundaries, and again, that you commit to what where your skills are and where you're able to help, but also where you really feel passionate about.
Yeah.
How do you feel like this work of using your skills to serve others, even beyond just what you're doing through your business, how do you feel like that has shaped you as a person, and sort of the way that you think about Evansville or relate to the community?
I definitely think the more involved I get, the more I love the community. The more I see just great people, people who are, really willing to get involved and want to make Evansville a better place. And also, I think when you open yourself up to meeting new people, you see the other side of life and the other side of things. And I think, again, I can appreciate the opportunities I've had and the skills that I have. And then I also see what other people have and the skills that they have, and that what I can gain from that. And I've gotten involved in, like Leadership Everyone, where, you meet a huge variety of people.
Right.
And you can just really see that it's helped me to grow professionally, personally. You become less judgmental because you realize that people come from all different walks of life, and we're all striving to do the best that we can for ourselves and our family.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that idea of contributing to the community, but doing it together, doing it in relationship with other people, meeting other people who have the same heart for the city, but have different skill sets and different kind of approach it from a different angle.
Right.
I think that's a neat type of community to be a part of and to be participating in.
Yeah. It's interesting when you surround yourself with other people who are getting involved. Like I have certain passions. I love to work in organizations that kind of are focused on youth and helping youth and mentoring. And then I might meet somebody, who's focused, is solely on animals, and they want to work in shelters and they want to, have emotional support animals. And so, that's the cool thing about how we're all so unique, and, you have your own passion, but as everybody uses that, it'll cover all the bases.
Right.
So in your own line of work and community involvement, where do you see hope right now, or what's something that you're excited about that's going on in your world?
Well, I really love what's going on downtown Evansville. I just like the community that I see down there. I like the new businesses that are coming in. Something else that I think is great about Evansville is all the different small businesses. We really have a lot of risk-taking entrepreneurs who, want to create things in the city. And, entrepreneurs put people to work, and they keep the economy going. And so, and I like how a lot of the small businesses are so supportive of the different nonprofits and supportive of each other. And so that's one thing that I really like.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's great. We actually just had an episode that we recorded. It will probably have aired a long time prior to when this episode airs, but we recorded it earlier today, and we were talking about entrepreneurs sort of having a nurturing mentality of nurturing younger entrepreneurs who were just starting out with new business ventures and things like that. And it was cool to hear sort of that culture that exists among business leaders in Evansville of not just trying to make their own business successful, but trying to help other businesses succeed and putting our community's success and flourishing as a priority for their business as well, and creating good jobs for employees and all of that. So it's neat how, businesses are supportive of nonprofits, but also in their business themselves, they're bringing value to the community and they're helping our community flourish. And your story is certainly an example of how that happens, that through your business and through your sort of personal passion for financial literacy, that you're helping to bring value to the community and to your neighbors. So that's cool.
Thank you.
Well, Amy, thanks so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure to talk with you and get to know a little bit more of your story. And thanks for the great work that you're doing in Evansville and using your skills and talents to help our city thrive and flourish.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks.
Well, I feel like that is a conversation that Ross is going to be really jealous of us for being able to have, because he really loves talking about how work integrates with our whole life, and in particular how a person's faith can intersect with their work, and how all of that intersects with our city and our city's flourishing, how the things that we do through our work sort of contribute to the way that we serve each other and the way that we help our city thrive.
Yes. And she had such a great example of finding her passion in that. So it doesn't feel like she's doing work all the time.
Right.
She found what she was passionate about and carried that over into her outside of work life.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, I love that. I thought it was interesting that wasn't something that she came to right away either. She had already started a business and was already kind of on this path before she put it together that I could use this because I'm really passionate about it beyond just my job. I could use this to serve people in the community. And I found that kind of encouraging because especially for college students, I think there's a lot of pressure to pick the right thing, once you start down a path that you're going to potentially get stuck in a job that isn't the right one for you or something, or that, should I do something really meaningful, like work for a nonprofit or something, or should I work in a corporate job or a job financial related? And the reality is that job can be really meaningful as well and provide value to the community.
And I loved how she also just said multiple times that she felt like just the course of her life had set her up in ways she didn't know. And so that everyone has their own unique story and the way that they've either been raised or grown up. We've seen that with a couple of stories.
Yeah.
Just the course of their own life has equipped them to meet needs. And it just took them listening, getting involved, taking that first step of getting involved somewhere, and then hearing the needs of other people and saying, oh, I can fit into that spot. And I have these certain skills and passions that I can help meet those needs.
Right. Yeah. And I love that theme of sort of servant leadership or just service in general. How can I promote the well-being of another person has come up again and again in our different interviews, that it's kind of started with just this desire to say, I want to figure out how I can help somebody else do well. And I think that's really kind of at the heart of what makes a flourishing city, and what that kind of seems to be at the root of a lot of these stories that we're hearing of people who are helping our city flourish.
Yeah. Well, if you have any feedback or want to just talk to us more, maybe you know of someone else who is living for Evansville or yourself, we would love to hear from you. You can email us at info@forevansville.org, or you can follow us on social media at 4Evansville.
Yeah, we look forward to hearing from you.